What made you make that switch in your mentality towards fighting, where it wasn't so much about, more of an ego or attacking a situation, but understanding it as a game and you have to organize it as a business. But when it's time to go, you go, and not letting distraction mess you up. All right, it's finally here. The kettlebell program that you've been asking for. It's a kettlebell only combat sports program. Combat Kettlebell is now available. It's an 8-week program. I also have 6 follow along workouts that you can do with me on the program, a PDF of all the exercises, the breakdowns, the sets, the reps, the exercise database, and then of course the program itself, guaranteed to make sure that you're increasing your power, improving on your strength and stability, and increasing mobility and endurance too as well. So check it out. It's on my website, darustrong.com. Combat Kettlebell, get it now, and let's get to work.
I'm still juggling all that stuff, like I feel like a little bit of this last fight with Charles, December of last year, I kind of fell victim to that. I was looking at it like the whole camp and the whole process as more of an athletic venture, and it's not, it's war, it's war. And I kind of went about training camp that way, like a professional athlete, and it is that to a certain point, but at the end of the day, we're fighting each other. We're trying to physically hurt each other and stop each other. And, not saying all the business stuff did get in the way, but it was just, I went about that training camp in a different mindset, I feel. And I can't even like really pinpoint or explain to you exactly what I think I did wrong mentally there, but I've tightened it up, and this is war. It's what it should be.
Yeah. Well, I know I've seen a difference in your ability to block out noise, and that's primarily a sign of an elite fighter, of an elite athlete, whatever the case is. I've been to your fights. I've sat cage side. I fought myself. It's different, right? It's another level. When you walk into that cage and everybody's screaming, the lights are on you, Bruce Buffer saying your name, like, what is that feeling like? And how do you compartmentalize everything to understand that the only thing that you need to focus on is the guy in front of you?
Dude, that's, if I can bottle that explanation up, we'd be billionaires. I'd sell it to every fighter on the earth. Everybody's different, and even though I think I kind of know the recipe to getting into that mindset, sometimes I'll get in the locker room and be about to walk out and feel different. I don't know. I do know that mentally I can control what I can control. Like I've said this before, that's the only thing that matters is what I can control. Everything else is just noise. The opinions, everything, my opponent, his team, what he's doing to train, all I can control is I write a circle. Everything I can control, I draw inside that circle. Everything I can, I put on the outside. And I kind of look at that throughout camp. If I get aggravated through camp or something like that, I just go back to that and say, okay, well, this is out of my, I address the things that I'm worried about, or I need, whether it's training or just overthinking things. If I look at that paper and it's not inside the circle, then it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. But if it's inside that circle, then I need to address it and try to make a change.
When did you decide to do that particular, I guess that would be a method per se of understanding it?
Yeah. I started talking to a mental coach, a guy named Jeff Jordan, and he showed me this skill work to draw a circle and put the date of the fight in the middle of the circle. And inside of that, draw everything I can control. My diet, my work ethic, just holding myself accountable, everything. And all the noise, all the things I have no control, put on the outside. And that's just, that helped me out hugely, man.
Man, that's so crazy, because that's not only for the fight game, that's for life.
Yeah,
you can use that for everything.
Yeah, for sure.
So
because it's easy to think about the things outside the circle and kind of get worked up about things, but you really can do nothing about those things.
Yeah, man, it is, this game is different, man. Like, honestly, like, I've worked with other athletes, and I work with, people from all walks of life, now celebrities now.
Yeah.
And it's a different mindset that a fighter comes in, you know that they're thinking on a different level. You got to be somewhat of a psycho in a sense.
Oh, right? For sure.
So with that though, you're able to hone in on skills, hone in on your talents, understand what you can control and what you cannot control in a chaotic environment, right? I think, I work with a lot of spec ops guys and SWAT guys now too as well. They kind of think on that same parameter.
Yeah.
But were there any times, and I mean, I know, but I want you to kind of relay it over to everybody. Were there any times that you felt out of that mindset and you were like, I'm not in a good space?
I'm sure there's plenty of times. For me, if I start overthinking things, that's when it kind of gets that way for me. Like I'm not losing control of certain things in my mind. Everything else, like the work part and showing up every day and the drive and the want and push, that's always there for me. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah. But like letting the wheels turn too much when I'm laying in bed trying to sleep at night, that's the part I have a problem with sometimes, overthinking. Yeah. It's like I just, for so many years, cared so much about this. I cared too much about it almost. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it would drive me crazy. Yeah. I loved it so much that I started to hate it. Yeah. And it's just like to pull it back and find that balance to where I still love it, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, for you, I've seen the ups and downs. We've been through a lot too as well, and you've been able to like really bounce back after all the adversity in several different occasions and still make it happen each and every time. What is the major driving force for you to keep moving forward?
A bunch. I have a family to feed, and my daughter's watching my moves. You know, I never lost 2 fights in a row. And November 12th, here in a couple weeks, I'm about to set the ship back right, you know, get another win and show her that you can overcome things. Absolutely. You know, all the naysayers, all the doubters, even even me talking to myself, you know, like I need this win for me. Of course it's for me and my family, my career, everything, but I need it for me. You know, I got to look in the mirror every morning and I want to be happy with the person I see. And a lot of this comes down to me holding myself accountable, how I'm going to perform. Even if, let's say, worst case scenario, I don't win. As long as I can look in the mirror and be happy with my performance, you know, did I give it my all? You know, I can stomach that I gave it my all. I just don't want to not give 100% ever in there or do something I know I shouldn't have done. You know, put myself in a position I knew better. And I've done it, you know, this last fight. I've done it in a bunch of fights. It's just I want to be, win, lose, or draw, I want to be able to look myself in the mirror and say, hey, you did everything you could. Let's get better. Gotcha. You know, so a lot of the driving force is my family, is getting us in a position, because I never had a safety net for so many years that I had to win. I had to find a way to win. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
Do you feel more comfortable with that not being a big burden on your, on like just a lot of weight on your shoulders in that particular way?
Yeah, but it's still a lot of pressure because I have a legacy and I want to continue to grow it. And this guy I'm about to fight is another world champion, former world champion, and I want to put his name on my resume, you know, on the list of world champions that I've defeated, and just keep building that legacy of the diamond of everything I've done in combat sports. I think it's very important for me personally, but the burden of not paying bills or taking stuff out the grocery basket at the store because we can't afford it, that is out of the way. So, you know, going through these training camps and getting the things I need or doing the things that I need to do, that's no problem for me. So that makes training camp a little bit easier, you know?
Man, you know what's so funny is that there's different levels of pressure. You know, when an individual starts to increase and incline as they walk up, I always call like life like a mountain, like you're climbing a mountain. And every step you get further up at the peak, you're still gonna reach adversity in every level of that peak or every level of that mountain until you get to the peak. And even then, you gotta fall back down.
Well, bro, every step that you do go up, it's less and less space to stand with the crowd.
Exactly.
So as you get closer to the top, there's less and less foot room. You know, there's gonna be one man on top. You know, 2 men on the next level, 3 men on the next level. So it's just knocking these guys off of that level and getting your footing and trying to climb to the next one. It's always, and that's when it comes down to the details, the fine things, the small things that make such a huge difference, you know, technically and just your everyday life, you know, not only fight techniques, but just the way you mentally approach things.
For sure, yeah. And now, like, what are some lessons that you've learned in the fight game, just in life in general? What has that taught you being in this game for so long?
A lot of things, man, a lot of things. But one that really comes to mind is like, I was a kid who dropped out of school, didn't finish 9th grade, was in and out of juvenile detention, set a goal to be the best fighter I can be, and then change my family's life because of that, dude. So like anybody watching, any kids dreaming or wanting to be somebody or chase a, you know, something that seems crazy to you, is you can really do it. I did it. I'm living proof I really did it. You know, I just chased my dreams, worked hard, and I really did it.
Nice, man. So what's the, I don't want to say this too soon, because I always, you know, I care about you and I care about your family and I care about what's the next steps, because this isn't the end all, right? You're a fighter at heart, but fighting isn't what you are only capable of doing, right? There's a pivot that's going to happen at some point.